Message? Psalms 118. I'm just going to read verse 24. Psalm 118. This psalm is nestled between the shortest chapter of the entire Bible and the longest chapter of the entire Bible. This is kind of the middle of the Bible, right smack dab in the middle, the heart of the Bible. And so this is what it says. Psalm 118, verse 24. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. That's a familiar one, right? We've all heard that ditty before. Here we are, December 28th, and we are 3 days removed from Christmas. We are 4 days shy of stepping into a brand new year, a year that has loads of potential and full of opportunities and possibilities, and it's a lot of unknown too. It's kind of like you're looking at possibilities and shaking the box like they're Christmas presents that you haven't opened yet, trying to guess what's going to happen. Maybe it's something great, maybe it's some ugly socks. I don't know yet. We're going to find out, but it's a unique time. This is always a unique time for me. And I realize for a lot of people that saying goodbye to Christmas as it passes by us brings a sigh of relief. Thank God it's over. It's kind of like surgery. It's like, okay, we got through it. Let's keep going. It is a complicated season. Christmas is always complicated. And it's a unique time that it just, unlike any other time of the year, it has the power to amplify and magnify how you're feeling. And so whether that's good or bad or lonely or feeling happy, it amplifies it. It shines a bright light and magnifies how you're feeling. And so I know for all of us, it carries with it memories. And it's just a significant time that is memorable every year. And some memories are great, some memories are not so good, but it carries with it memories. For a lot of people, traditions. A lot of us have our silly tradition. My family goes and eats at, my dad calls it the Crimson Crustacean, Red Lobster. We eat at Red Lobster every year on Christmas Eve. And so that's just a tradition we've had my whole life, and so that's what we do. And so a lot of traditions we've incorporated and are just part of our deal. And you're surprised when other people don't do the same thing. Some of you guys are like, the Christmas Eve present opening thing happens, and then you get around people that are very judgmental of that kind of practice. You're like, you open gifts on Christmas Eve? And you get the judgy eyes, and it's like, okay, settle down, pal. It's all right. But we have all these traditions, we have these memories, we celebrate the past, what has been, and at the same time, we're having to adapt and incorporate changes and additions that life brings. My sister, Allison, has had 47 children in the last 2 years, and that has changed the game quite a bit. You just got this gaggle of ruffians. It's like a biker gang that just came in and just took over your Christmas. And so that changes the dynamic a little bit. It's not as sleepy as it used to be. It got a jolt of Monster Energy drink now. So our Christmases are energized. And so we're all kind of playing hockey goalie, just trying to keep all the kids in play. No, come over here. No, open this one now. No, stop. Play. Come over there. Put your brother down. And so we're just trying to make sure it all happens and stays on the rails. And so, but we all kind of have adjustments, new circumstances, new family, new location. We have to accommodate for maybe some new traditions that we're fitting into the deal. And two, I think Christmas on the heels of a loss, losing a family member, is very complicated, very difficult, because you're having to adjust to Christmas without that person, and that can be tough. And so I'd say around this season, grief and celebration coexist. I think there's always a sense of loss and always a sense of heartbreak that is illuminated by Christmas time, that we've lost somebody or something's changed and happened. But all at the same time, it's a celebration of the greatest thing that's ever happened to mankind. Around this time last year, I was consumed by the stress of an emergency bathroom remodel. If you guys have ever had to, we had a significant leak that we did not know about happening, and one day I was I was getting out of the shower, and my tiles squished, squish, and a little water shot up, and I was like, "That's not the way you want it to be. This isn't ideal." And so squishy, squishy, squishy. So I had to go tell my wife. I said, "We got squishy tiles." And she's like, "Excuse me, what is squishy tiles?" So we had a leak happening behind everything that we didn't know about, and so we had to do something. So it just so happened that it was scheduled the first week of the new year, 2025, this year, and so I was up to my eyes, stressed out, and then there was so much dust and just chaos. I had to move my family out of our home. So Happy New Year. We're going to live in an Airbnb for 2 weeks, and that was fun. And so we had to move, and so it's weird to be shopping Airbnbs like 5 minutes from your house. It's just an odd thing to do. And so, but we were looking around, and we found we had to move a couple times because we could stay at one a few days and the other a couple days. So that's how I was spending my New Year. And at the same time, if you remember, we had a giant snowstorm begin this year. And so I had to make the call. We were navigating that. I had to make the call. I canceled church on January 12th. And it was a dumb thing to do because I didn't need to, but I was being silly. And I love you guys, and I always want to be careful. And I'm like, but they got frost on the windshield. They can't come to church. It all had melted by then. It was overreaction, but I did it. So I hadn't really had a chance to last year address the complicated emotions that come with Christmas and New Year. Every year it's simultaneous. I feel excitement for a new year, for new possibilities, but I'm grieving Christmas being over. It's sad to me. Another one in the books is not a happy thing to me. It's a sad thing to me. And so I hadn't really addressed the complicated emotions plus all the stress that was going on with my house and all that stuff. So on January 14th, which would have been a Tuesday, I took a day off, and I got in my car and I drove to Ringgold, Georgia, the thriving metropolis of Ringgold, the central nervous system of all things bustling and activity. And so I went to Ringgold, and I went to an antique shop there, which is like my favorite thing to do. I am, on the outside, I'm 48. On the inside, I'm 98. And so I love eating at old people places and doing old people things. I love it. And so I went to an antique shop, and I was walking around, and they had old stuff. They had a lot of Christmas decorations. And I don't know what happened, but I started feeling tears roll down my face. And I was holding back emotions, and I was feeling a lot. And so I'm walking through an antique store in Ringgold, Georgia, fighting tears. And I was completely caught off guard by this flood of emotion, this flood of thoughts and feelings that I was experiencing. And I was welling up, and it was a little embarrassing. I was trying to, people kind of nod at you, and you're like, "Hey, how you doing?" But I took my time that day, and I walked through real slow, and I'm trying to learn to just lean into that, and just lean into the feelings. Let the feelings feel for a minute. And so I I ended up afterwards, I went to, this is going to shock you guys, I went to Starbucks. So unlike me, very out of character. And so I went to a Starbucks and I plopped down and I began to write or try to what was going on in my head and my heart, and just kind of just give it some voice and some definition. And so I'm writing it, and so I'm writing about these thoughts and these feelings, and Christmas was the backdrop of all of them. It just served as sort of a setting, a backdrop. And so, but these rush of memories and magical feelings around Christmas, I was remembering Christmas as a kid. And I was remembering how perfect Christmas was as a kid. And I was thinking about sitting down with the Sears Wish Book. Anybody with me? Oh, so good. Not sending anyone my list of things on Amazon. That's none of that nonsense. I'm talking about intricately with a notebook, with a notepad, and just like page 427, box 2. I was really into it. And so I'm circling and underlining and want to make sure that Santa didn't miss a thing. And so I was remembering all those magical moments. And then I was thinking about this one-of-a-kind, unique Christmas in the year 2000. Christmas Y2K. And it was unique. It was unlike any other because I was bringing my soon-to-be wife into my world. We're recently engaged. I proposed to my wife on my birthday, November 22nd, and so then we were married in 2001, and so I was bringing her into my family traditions, introducing her to how we do Christmas right. Not your silly Mennonite traditions. I'm talking the real good stuff, not your Amish food and whatever you eat. She's from Ohio. So I'm like real Southern stuff and real good stuff. And so I was introducing her to my family's traditions, and it was kind of amazing and beautiful to watch her become part of my family. Just sit back and just watch that happen. My family just bring her in and love her more than me, actually. My heart was full sitting in Starbucks this time last year, thinking about my precious little Berkeley enjoying Christmas. And I remember thinking, man, I would give anything to be right there again. It's amazing. And I started laughing through my tears at Starbucks because I started remembering all the ridiculous lengths that I would go to every Christmas in order to make Berkeley's Christmas just as magical as mine, and going to Toys R Us at 2 a.m. and fighting the crowds and staying up all night to just save money so I could get her more. And so I remember going, it was probably 1 a.m. and I was walking into Toys R Us, and there was a car parked right in front of the door. The hood was up and the engine was on fire. And I was walking between that and someone being escorted out in handcuffs. And I was like, this is like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max version of a toy store. Toys R Us, rest in peace, has gone home to be with Jesus. But I think it's coming back, though, somewhat. Anyway, I'm walking in. I'm like, what am I doing? And but it was all worth it because she's worth it. So that was January 14th this year. And even though my circumstances were not great at the time, I was grateful. I found myself just being very, very grateful. And for the moments and for the memories and for all the good stuff. And I remember thinking that day, now all the magic, all the memories are packed in containers and put away. And it's over. Christmas time is over, and it's time to move on. Next. And so one of the few poems that have remained locked away in my head accidentally is a poem by Robert Frost, and it's featured in the movie The Outsiders, which came out in the early '80s, based on a book by S.E. Hinton, which was one of my favorite things to read in high school because I'd already seen the movie. But The Outsiders. My sister is a couple years older than me, Charity, and she was an avid reader of Tiger Beat. You guys remember those? And Teen Beat and all those. And she would have like scrapbooks and posters of like, here's Ralph Macchio, Ralph Macchio looking all sexy in the wall, and Kirk Cameron like, hey, and silly, Patrick Swayze. And so this was her favorite movie because it was all the hunks of the age, like Emilio Estevez. Sorry, I can't say that without laughing. But I liked it because just the story, I just loved it. And it was an amazing movie. So I've seen the movie 3,006 times. So just through repetition, this poem, which is featured in the movie, has just sank so deep into my brain. I remember it was 1997, I was in California, I was traveling, and I turned to one of my friends, and I don't know why it came up, but I just started reciting the poem. I didn't know that I had memorized it accidentally, but I knew it by heart. And I think it's still up there, so we're going to give it a shot. You guys ready? Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour. So leaf subsides to leaf, Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down today, nothing gold can stay. Pretty close? If you've ever heard the phrase, stay gold, pony boy, it's from this movie. And this poem is a consideration by Robert Frost to say, all the good stuff eventually goes away. There are certainly moments in life that we can't get through fast enough. You're at the dentist office, you're like, God, fast forward time, please. You're sitting at school, Jesus, move the clock, let's go. You're kind of suffering through awkward conversations. You're like, God, please just spin the world a little faster just for a few minutes. But there are these rare and perfect moments that we wish would never end. Have you ever kind of stopped and just said, this is as good as it gets right here? And you just want that second, that moment, that point in time just to last forever. We especially realize that in hindsight, looking back. I think it's easier to recognize that having passed it than it is even in the moment. You look back, you're like, that was amazing. Speaking of Red Lobster, which I know is on everybody's mind right now, you're like, we should go to Red Lobster. Things that people never say in 2025. We should go, you know what I want? Red Lobster. Anyway, it's seen better days. Anyway, so I was there one day. I try to take a day off every week, and I just need it, and that's usually when I write the message and do some reading and stuff, but I'm just kind of by myself recharging my batteries. I usually end up at Starbucks at some point for a while, for 6-7 hours. Anyway, so it's great. But I always consider, where can I go eat? And it's usually, again, it's where they want to give me a children's menu compared to all the rest of their clientele. So I went to Red Lobster one day, and I sat there by myself, and I watched grandparents right next to me, a table right next to me, eating dinner with their grandson. And the grandson was not on a device, miraculous there. He might have been 10 or 11, but I never saw a device, which I was proud of him. And he was just interacting with his grandparents. And I didn't do this. My wife has told me to stop talking to strangers so much. But I wanted to. I wanted to go over to to that table and look to that kid and say, drink it in, buddy, because I would give anything to be in your shoes. I would give anything to sit at Red Lobster with my grandparents. All my grandparents are gone, but just life it doesn't get much better than that. So good. And so there's those moments, rare and perfect moments that we want to last forever. But unfortunately, nothing gold can stay. Solomon writes in Ecclesiastes 3, which is a very uplifting book of the Bible. So if you ever want to have fun, just read Ecclesiastes. He says in Ecclesiastes 3 that for everything there's a season. Turn. There's a time for this, a time for that, time for war, time for peace, all this comparison, but he's saying for everything in this life there's a season. And we know about seasons. We have all four here in the South, that seasons come and seasons go. We know that here in the South, summer lasts 104 weeks and fall lasts 10 minutes. But they come and they go. As we read in Psalm 118, which is a familiar verse to you, I'm sure. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. To enjoy it. To rejoice in it. This day, this moment, this time is a gift. Let's rejoice in it. Let's be glad in it. Matthew 26 is an interesting point in the life of Christ. He is moving from the upper room and on his way to the Mount of Olives, in his arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane, and all that transpires around the crucifixion. But we're told as Jesus is wrapping up dinner with his disciples, we're told in Matthew 26 that he and his disciples sang a hymn as they were leaving to go to the Mount of Olives. They sang together. They sang a hymn together. And it's believed to be, the primary song that they were singing is believed to be Psalm 118. This psalm that we just quoted is believed to be the very, the primary song that Jesus was singing with his disciples on their way to his arrest. Now, we're not exactly sure who the author is. I think most historians believe it sounds like David, but we're not told. But regardless of that, I wanted to point out the way this psalm starts. We read verse 24, but I want to read the first 4 verses and just to show you something in the personality and the nature of Jesus. Psalm 118, verses 1 through 4. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Let Israel say, his steadfast love endures forever. Let the house of Aaron say, his steadfast love endures forever. Let those who fear the Lord say, his steadfast love endures forever. Let Family Church say, steadfast love endures forever. You guys are so good. For the disciples, if you could plop down in their sandals for a second, they are the most beautiful and meaningful time of their lives, the last 3 years or so. That was absolutely the most purposeful, adventurous, exciting, amazing, full, meaningful moments of their entire life is coming to an end. He's leaving. Jesus is leaving. And chaos is going to ensue. Everything that was built is going to fall apart in their eyes. And they're walking into that, and it's a reminder nothing gold can stay. The best part of their life, the thing that they're always going to look back on until they go home to be with Jesus themselves, is going to be this time. It's going to be the best time of their life, but nothing gold can stay. But at the same time, in that moment, it's like Jesus is intentionally reminding them of the gold that lasts forever. He's saying to them with this song, singing it together over and over and over, His love is forever. His love endures forever. That's not going away. Circumstances are going to come and they're going to go, they're going to change, but His love doesn't. We are forever loved. We are forever held. His love is never fading. It's never flinching. In fact, He is the only goodness that lasts forever. He is forever good. He is forever good, and His love for you is forever. It doesn't move. It's not a moving target. It's not conditional. It's not you do more, He'll love you more. It's not you achieve more, He'll love you more. He could not love you an ounce more than He does. So this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. It's easy for us to rush past things and just always seeking the next thing. I think especially in our modern culture and technology and pace and the way things are, people speeding and honking at you if you are going 5 miles over the speed limit. You are an hindrance to them because their life is so important. They had to be somewhere 37 seconds ago. And so everything is hurry, hurry, hurry. And we're always moving past things on our way to something else. But this is the day the Lord has made. This very moment is a gift from God. This time, the space, the people that are filling it with us is a gift from God. Rejoice and be glad in it. Drink it in. Make the most of it. Enjoy it. Don't literally take pictures of everything. That gets annoying. It's like just take a mental picture. Drink it in. There's a lot of verses in the Bible that are often reinterpreted in order to fit our own sensibilities. We wrap Scripture around our opinion a lot of times. This is one of them. Philippians 3, verse 13. The Apostle Paul is saying this, one thing I do. I do one thing, I think it says. I do one thing. We often reinterpret that as, okay, I do one thing, I forget everything that is behind me, and I look forward to what's ahead of me. This is all about future planning. This is all about dream boards, vision boards. This is all about short-term goals, long-term goals. What's your 10-year plan, buddy? I don't have a 10-minute plan. I'm just trying to get through this message. Jesus, help me. That's how we wrap this around because we like being future-minded. But really what's being said here is one thing I do, I forget everything that's behind me, and I focus on what's right in front of me. What's here. This isn't about planning for the future. This is about being present. Having your eyes open in the moment. Jesus himself said during the Sermon on the Mount, why are you worried about tomorrow? Tomorrow will fend for itself. You're in this moment. Live here. Be here. This is the day the Lord has made. It's right in front of you. Live fully in the moment that you're in. This idea, I wrote this message at the beginning of the year. This is like the most long-term planning I've ever done. I wrote this message on January 14th this year. And I know that it has this idea, this perspective has shaped my 2025. I lived this year differently. It felt different. I treated it differently. My wife told me recently, Chris, you're going about things differently. Your attitude, your demeanor, it's different. What she was getting to was better, but just trust me on that one. I like you more, is what she was saying. It's been a better year. And there's circumstances that have not been good. And there's some points of contention with this year that have could make life stressful, more stressful than they have been. But I didn't go there as much because I tried my best just to stay present in the moment and be thankful. To find the good and the beauty and the gift that we're currently experiencing. This is the gift. This is the gift that God's given us, is right now. Psalm 118 has helped me through that, to rejoice and to be glad in this day that God has given me, He's created, especially through the moments that are mundane, the moments that are common, the moments that are ordinary, that are boring. I find more joy in those moments. Even undesirable moments that we want to pass us by quickly, that are going slow. If you give it a minute, there's something good there. But what about those rare moments that we don't want us to pass by, that we want to hold on to? If you're a parent, you know these moments. You want to grab your child and say, stop growing up. It's difficult. Now, if you're pregnant, there's a couple in this room right now. If you're pregnant, you're like, okay, let's get through this. But every moment after that, you want to stop. We want to hold on to those moments. What do you do with that? What if you're like me and you find yourself looking backwards a lot? I make no secret about it. I'm very nostalgic. I like reminiscing. I do that often. What about those moments that you look back on and you long for, but you know you can't get it back? This is a true story. I used to be a decent basketball player. Not great, decent. And I used to play a lot. I had a lot of friends that were just my basketball friends, who were some of the worst people I've ever met, but we were friends. Some of the worst people I ever met were some of the first people to hold my baby in the hospital. They're awful human beings. My wife's like, why are you handing them your baby? It's like, but they're my friends. We play basketball together. If you were to invite me to play basketball now, I would be the guy that no one wanted on their team. I would be picked last. I would be the guy, if I got on their team, they'd be like, not this guy. And that's why I haven't played in a long time. I always promised myself, if I ever become the guy that no one wants on their team, I'm done. I'm hanging up the shoes. But I long for those moments when I was decent. I long for those times where I was pretty good at it. But those times have come and gone. Nothing gold can stay. There's moments that we just can't get back. What do you do with that? I read this quote from C.S. Lewis many years ago, and the more I read it, the more I get it. And I get how I am, and I get why I am the way I am. I get how I'm wired, and I understand why other people do this too. And so I wanted to kind of wrap up with this. This is C.S. Lewis. Apparently, then, our lifelong nostalgia, our longing to be reunited with something in the universe from which we know we now feel cut off to, or cut off from, to be on the other side of some door which we have always seen from the outside, is no more neurotic fancy, but the truest index of our real situation. And to be at last summoned inside would be both glory and honor beyond all our merits, and also the healing of that old ache. This deep, embedded, spiritual nostalgia. I love this quote because it spiritualizes how I am. It makes me sound way more spiritual than I am. Like, Chris, why are you always nostalgic and reminiscing and going to antique shops? It's spiritual, thank you. It's because I'm heavenly minded. It's the glory of the Lord. There is a deep ache that we have that longs for things being right. Things being as they should be. Everything being right in its right place. To freeze dry our kids at the perfect age. To freeze dry our marriage at the best time. To freeze dry our job in the heydays. I don't know if you've ever gone to a new job excited and looked back longingly at your last job and said, man, it was pretty good back then. Less pressure, less responsibility, maybe less money, but money's not everything. There's these constant reminders around us of how life should be, how we wish life was still. If you've gotten to the age that I'm at, which some of you guys are there, I find myself looking at hairstyles and Harry Styles and music and fashion and slang. Oh, slang's the worst. If I hear "let's go" one more time, I'm going to pour Drano on my ears. It's the worst. Stop it. But just people say that's fire. I say, okay, stop it. No. And the reason is not because they're bad and they're silly. It's because I'm old and I'm crotchety. I'm grumpy, and I accept that. But it's hard to keep moving. We almost resent what is because we look back fondly on what was. When I was a kid, we didn't have these phones. When I was a kid, we actually went outside and we did stuff. When I was a kid, we listened to actual bands that played music. We hunger and thirst for rightness. We want things to be as they should be. Let me tell you what that is. That's heaven. Heaven is everything is as it should be. This life is full of fleeting glimpses of heaven. We get little tastes. We get moments, blips. We get little scenes here and there like, okay, this is perfect. This is heaven. And then it passes because nothing gold can stay. Life is full of constant reminders that we're not there yet. We're not in that place yet. It's the old ache that C.S. Lewis talks about. We crave it. Everything yearns for it. We hunger and thirst for it, for things to be right as they should be and stay there. But we're not there yet. We know that as we get out of bed and our bones ache and crack and they're noisy. We know that as we look at our once 3-year-old child and she's in nursing school. We look in the mirror at a once vibrant full head of hair, at the remains, the scraps. But what do you do with that? Well, until we get to see everything as it should be, which is exactly where we're heading, until then, we're encouraged and empowered by God to see and to savor what is now, to live in the moment, to rejoice, be glad, to be happy, to be full of joy, to, even though things are not as they should be, there's a lot good. And to take inventory and appreciate that good is exactly what God He desires us to do. To receive the gift, to taste and see that He is good, which means to experience it, to savor it, to see it, to live in the moment and to be thankful for God and His unwavering goodness and His steadfast love that lives and endures forever, that is unshakable So, here's my meandering point at the end of all this. May we live 2026 differently. I'm not really terribly interested in your New Year's resolutions. Make them awesome. Don't make them. It doesn't bother me a bit. I've in the past made them. I used to publicize them because I wanted people to hold me accountable. That was hell on earth. Don't do that. That's awful. So Chris, stop it, okay? Just leave me alone. Enough guilt and shame. I'm not really interested in your resolutions. Whatever. That doesn't matter to me. I think there's something different. In fact, just going forward, when you hear me preach, any messages that are preached from this pulpit, I don't expect you to remember it. I don't expect you to his third point, he never makes points. But anyway, his point in that message was this: you're not going to remember it. I could ask my wife, and she lives with me, honey, what did I preach 3 weeks ago? She would have no idea. I don't think she knows what I preached last week. I don't know that she knows what I'm preaching right now. But different than that is taking what's said and just running with it. Just run with it. You don't have to remember points and notes. You take the notes, go back, look, oh, that's great, but if you just take it and just run with it. And this is what I'm encouraging you to run with. To lean into what is. To be fully present. This is the day. This is the moment. This is the season. This is the opportunity that the Lord has made. He made it, created it. Rejoice. Be glad in it. Drink it in. We proclaim that this is the day the Lord has made, and we proclaim that someone has not hijacked it. We proclaim and we confess that I don't care who's in the White House. I don't care who's in local government positions. I don't care who my boss is. I don't care what's going on with my bank account. I mean, I care, but I don't care. Who cares? He's on the throne. He's bigger than all that. No one's going to steal this moment from me. No one's going to hijack this gift that God's given me. He's made this day. I will rejoice. I will be glad in it. Actively rejoicing. Actively finding joy in all of it. So may we treat 2026 differently. And may we be fully present. Eyes open. Taking it in. Noticing and seeing like never before. I promise you, if you go about your day with that priority, you're going to see things that you never would have seen before. You're going to see need pop up and the opportunity to facilitate the need like never before. You're going to see someone struggling to put heavy groceries in the back of their car or struggling to get something down off the top shelf. You're going to notice it. As opposed to running, trying to do your best to run through the moment. To take your time, to see it, to savor it. And then what happens is these moments start adding up. They compound with interest. And you're going to be standing here this time next year, and you're going to say, that was a much fuller year than I'm used to. That was really good. It doesn't mean all the circumstances were good, but it just meant we treated it like it was a gift, as opposed to something that we'd have to rush through. That's my encouragement. So may we all treat 2026 differently, like it's a really beautiful gift from God. Let's pray. If you would just join me, bow your heads, we'll pray.